What up, gamers? I'm Sir Mav, and welcome back to another weekly update of Anthem, where I present to you the latest info discussed on Twitter and other sources from the dev team. This week we learned a lot about customization, when the next stream might be if all goes as planned, and some news on the perks of our gear. I do this update every week, so if you enjoy the video, give it a like and subscribe for future updates. Comment down below and let me know your thoughts on Anthem and what you look forward to the most. If you want to view more weekly updates, you can check them out here on the channel in the Anthem playlist, or click over to the forttarsus.com website for a full archive. If you haven't heard, there's also a giveaway on the channel with a week to go before the winner is decided, so if you want a chance to win a free copy of Battlefield 5, then click the link down in the description box below to find out more. So that's my spiel. Without further ado, let's talk about what we learned this past week in Anthem. Let's dive in. First up, there was a question to Mark about the crafting system of Anthem and whether it would continue to be relevant throughout the endgame. Mark stated that it should be relevant. This is definitely an important question, as we don't want any system within any game to no longer be valuable to us. Not sure of everything that's craftable yet within Anthem, but I imagine those consumables we saw from the original gameplay may be included. If you missed it, all this week we got to see quite a few more customization options on screen for our javelins. The Interceptor was mainly the one showcased, but a few devs brought in the big boy Colossus for keeps. But before I showcase these images, know that there will be tons of customization unlocks in Anthem. There will be different palettes you can unlock, a full color wheel at your disposal, and skins that include pre-decided colors. This should all be showcased in the next livestream, which Ben Irving stated could be as early as this week. And for those Interceptor mains out there, you will finally get to see the live gameplay from the Interceptor's perspective, as this is the only one we haven't seen yet. Now let's showcase these images. It all started with Mike Gamble's tweet of the red Interceptor skin, and if you look on the helmet, you'll see what looks to be a Swarm Tyrant decal. So possibly a customized unlock could be any major boss we take down in a stronghold. Pretty sweet. Also, if you're wondering what the flower looking thing was in the image, Mark stated it was a stand light from the Forge. Next we have the N7 skin we previously saw on the Ranger at E3. Now it's showcased for us on N7 Day on the Interceptor. Here's another Interceptor showcased with this wicked skelly cosmetic, which gives us a great look at the material layers of our javelins. Justin, a technical designer for Anthem, joins in by showcasing this awesome blue layered Colossus. And last, Emily teases us with an epic night landscape shot with her Colossus emoting in the background. And just check out those two moons. This is absolutely a beautiful world that we're about to embark on. So we just got a glimpse of what the devs could do with the customization options of Anthem, but how will they be swapped out? Well, John Warner gave us some clarity on this, stating that you can individually swap out your helmet, arms, legs, and chest. But the arms and legs will be swapped out in pairs, so you won't be able to have two different legs or two different arms. In any case, can't wait to see the next live stream with Ben Irving when they showcase and cover customization more in depth. Ben also posted some lengthy patch notes from the latest round of internal alpha testing. It's a lot, so if you want to read it for yourself, I posted a link down in the description box below. To summarize, he basically talked about some changes regarding loot, missions, progression, and playing with friends. These tests are of course very linear, so most of the time the testers can't just go out and do their own thing. The developers are looking to test specific things during these events. So with loot, Ben stated that they will be hosting a more focused session later on, and again, that loot is personal to you, so no one else can take your gear. Everyone on the team will be able to recover the loot they earned upon returning to Fort Tarsus. The mission content in the closed alpha was limited, so some players felt there wasn't a lot to do while doing the testing. So with this feedback, they will be adding significantly more content to later builds, but this did allow for them to fix some critical expedition bugs. As far as progression goes, this wasn't available in the closed alpha builds, so there was some players asking to extend the time to fly. But again, this is all tied to the progression system, so it was hard to test for this period. Ben noted that this type of level testing will be done in the future build of the game. And last, some of the game testers felt it was hard to find teammates out in the world, so the team is planning on adding some UI elements to help out with this. Given that there's only 4 players out in the world, this would be useful in the case that you don't already have a squad to roll with. Now back onto customizations. So after a question on Twitter, no, we won't be able to change the color of our jets or have something like auras on our javelins. At least not at launch, so this is something we could look forward to within future expansions of Anthem. So thanks to Ben answering one of my questions on Twitter, we now know that there will be some sort of progression for our support abilities at different tier levels of gear, but currently it's unsure as to whether or not it's a percentage increase over time, or if it applies to a duration of the ability, or even the cooldown of the ability, so TBD on this one. The Freelance Codex crew asked whether or not we could see explosive rounds as a perk for our weapon. Ben simply stated, maybe check out the Ranger rifle back at EA Play demo. Now if I remember correctly, the rifle he's talking about is the rifle right here with the ricochet bullets. Now either this is a specific rifle type or these ricocheting bullets are a perk we get from this weapon. If you remember back on the first live stream with John and Mark, they both pointed out that this was the legendary pulse rifle. So it could be that this is a perk to our weapon and explosive ammo comes as an addition to some weapons. It's still all theory until we have full confirmation, but I believe this is what Ben was alluding us to in his tweet. This isn't from the devs, but I had to showcase this amazing art piece that Lazar, sorry if I butchered your name sir, showcased this past week. Really a remarkable piece with the silhouette of each Legion of Dawn skin in the background. Now I'm sure you've seen it before, but our javelins will showcase different animations based on whether or not we are at low health or even have a status effect applied to us. This sparking we see here on the Ranger is a good example of this. We also learned this week that the white line you see on the health bar of an enemy after damaging them is a visual indicator of the damage applied to them. Gives a sense of how much damage it'll take per attack to bring down an enemy. Now I know we are all still curious of what perks our gear will have, but we will have certain perks that increase our armor, health, and other things. More to come once we get a chance to see the stats on our gear in full perspective. For you distant pathfinders out there, the sniper rifles in Anthem will indeed have scopes on them, so you'll be able to zoom in on those sweet headshots or weak points of your targets. And those of you wondering, double jump is not available to all your javelins, and yes, there is a cooldown on double jump. My guess would have been the Colossus because of its heavy weight, but I believe this was a double jump that we see here during the gameplay demo. For future expansions, so likely not at launch, we could have such gear set perks that allow increased damage after using our dash or dodge ability. An example Ben used was where on dash, your next melee attack damage would be increased by 50%. Again, just an example, so likely more examples to come on this. When in a squad and choosing a mission, like most games, the squad leader will be the one to choose the difficulty of the mission. There was a question from our good buddy William over at Your Anthem on the duration of some of the ultimates, as some seemed to last quite long, especially the interceptors. Ben stated the ultimates are still being tuned, so likely some durations that we have seen will change come launch. We could also have skill tree perks or gear that could extend the duration of our ultimates as well. So they will be keeping this in mind as they're balancing and tuning things for Anthem. And no, your javelin isn't like the horse in Red Dead Redemption 2, you cannot name your javelins. Your gamer tag will show on top of your javelin during gameplay. For those worried about where your gear will be stored in Anthem, there will be some sort of vault, bank, or armory system in place to store our gear and weapons at Fort Tarsus or within our Strider. Ben stated on some comments on Reddit that the team is looking into how they are going to handle AFK players in your party. This is not to be confused with the disconnecting mentioned earlier in another weekly update. Even though the team is working out whether or not there will be fall damage, we do know that there will be other consequences to overheating our jets, such as cratering to the ground, of course, but you will also lose some flight control ability as well. For those true jet fighters out there, yes, you will have the option to invert the flight controls if you wish, but no, you can't loop around like a Blue Angel in your Javelin. And yes, you will also be able to slow down while flying. As far as support abilities go, such as the Ranger's Bulwark Point ability, you will be able to shoot through it, but of course enemies will not be able to hit you while it's up. Same goes for the Storm's windscreen as we saw in the last stream. And last up, as Ben's final hurrah for the week, he showcases his sweet widescreen setup with Anthem on screen. Thanks for making us jealous, Ben. Hope you had fun this weekend. And there you have it, gamers. Thanks for tuning into this week's update for Anthem. As usual, I posted the link to the Reddit post in the description box below in case you want to view the links for yourself. Hopefully we hear news of the stream this week, and if you happen to miss the stream, I'll have it posted up here on the channel afterwards. Keep it locked here at iGame for all the latest updates on Anthem before and after launch. Don't forget to ring that bell for future updates on Anthem. Talk to you next time, gamers. This is Sir Mav, signing off.